So, looking at the project bingo cards, I have on the first page, I'm actively working on two things. There's a primary colours quilt, which is a red, yellow and blue one. And I'm actually I was going to do some appliques on that. I think I'm just going to quilt and bind. It's so busy and I don't think it needs anything else. The other one is a teddy panel quilt, which I have bundles and bundles of these half square triangles. And I have teddy panels. So I've got 6 panels, I think. And I've had it up on the design board. I'm not happy with how it looks. I need to have a rethink, and I may need to resize these blocks, and I have heaps of them. So that one is, I took that off the design board. I have something else on there at the moment. Can you see? Okay, this is my steampunk quilt, and I had to pull some of the blocks out of there and remove a pastel pink that really wasn't working with the steampunk vibe. And then I've put in something a bit more grungy. And so I haven't actually sewn them back together. I've just cut out all the pieces. And I've pulled all of the old blocks apart, got rid of the pink, and I've cut out the pieces of grungy pink that need to go in. So that's what's on the board at the moment. That's on page 2 of the project bingo card, and that's along with the African 100 days quilt, using the small blocks that were made with the templates in that quilt. And that is the epic effort that I made yesterday to finish the border, the final border on that. And I thought it was going to take me about 2 hours, took me about 7, but it's done. Okay, and the other thing on here, apart from the steampunk quilt, is another Terry Blocks quilt. So I'm calling them Terry Blocks. It's Terry Rowland T-Row Quilting, and she's developed this quilt with a 3.5 inch block. It's mostly square in a square. And I made one and loved it, loved the process, loved the result. So I'm making another one. I think I probably have enough blocks to actually put it up on the board and make a quilt out of it now, though I do have a few more little bundles that I want to make into blocks first. And I also have something on the design board, so I can't do that just at the moment. So after the epic quilting effort yesterday, I decided today I would like some quick wins. And I know there are some quick wins in a box somewhere. This is the page with the quick wins. So there'll be more dots on here sometime this week. There will be finishes. I promise there'll be finishes. I just need a bit of a break from quilts right now. Anyway, I'm hoping this is the box that has the quick wins. So, yes, this is a quick win. This is a wall hanging. Whoa. And all I have to do to finish that is put a couple more little embellishments on it. I've got some beautiful just little bits and pieces, and there's another one up here. I have a couple more to go on. There's one there. I have a couple more to go on, and then It has its hanging sleeve and everything. So that will be a finish. Actually, I have those on there too. I might not need any more. I think it's just, I think something might have fallen off it. And so I thought I should replace it. But there are lots of things on there, lots of dangly things. Let's just hang that. Okay. That will be a win. I don't even know if that's on my list. Let me have a look. I can't see it. Rats. I was hoping I'd be able to mark that one off. That doesn't make me happy. Okay, I've got a heap of Japanese blocks there. I don't want to start another quilt. Heaps of cat blocks. Oh, these are really cute. These are really cute. I want to make a kid's quilt out of that, but I don't want to start another quilt right now. Oh, this one is beautiful. I made a Japanese quilt, which was a circle in a square. And so, oh, that's where my really big circle template is. Awesome. That's good to know. Okay. So what I do is, these are the squares, and pull out one of the circles, applique it on. Ha, ha, ha. That's one of the projects. That one just needs buttons. Actually, that looks like it might even fit me now. That was clearly a big pattern when I made it. So yes, that one is coming out. That's a quick win. Anyway, that's enough looking at things I'm not going to get to for a while. Okay, so this is the project I pulled out of the dressmaking box that I thought was going to be a really quick win. I didn't realize I had to do buttonholes. It's 20 years since I've done a buttonhole. I'm going to have to practice. I think these are probably the buttons that I had picked out. So I'm going to pull those out. And looking at them now, I would have preferred slightly bigger ones, but anyway, they will do the job. Okay, I made another attempt to do buttonholes on this fabric. I'll just show you what it's like. It looks like a linen strip with a gauzy strip, and then something else that's not very thick, not very robust, and it's not taking to buttonholes at all. So I'm going to do thread loops. I'm going to overlap the front and just close the buttons with a loop, so it will have the same kind of normal overlapped front, and it hopefully will look okay. Okay, I've pinned the positions. Let's just check how far down my chest that's going to go. Don't want to get indecent. That might be a little bit high. It's about the level of that one. How does that look? That's fine. Okay. I'm going to use embroidery floss as recommended by Kathy on Kathy's Sewing Studio. I'll use all 6 strands. Yes, I'll use all 6 strands. I'm using a tutorial from Kathy's Sewing Studio on YouTube. It was the one that gave what looked to me to be the neatest result. And so I'm going to follow hers and try and emulate how gorgeous they look. As our mutual mentor for these purposes, Kathy did, I'm going to start with a knot on the end of the thread, and I'm taking it up in between the facing and the front. Forgetting to take into account I actually have a seam about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of this. Okay, now that I've remembered that, because I ran into it, let's take it up to the seam and just run the needle through. Oh, this is horrible fabric to use. Remind me not to do pretty things in future. When I was looking for the scraps from these blouse yesterday, I had a look in all of my my dressmaking fabric boxes. There is some beautiful fabric in there, such lovely colours. I haven't put any dressmaking in my UFO bingo that hadn't already been started. Now I've got 4 boxes full of fabric that I really want to use, so I'm going to have to ignore that for a while. Now, Kathy's suggestion is that you go back, you measure the width across the widest part of the button, and you head back in about there. Oops. No more fumble fingers today. I'm going to use a measuring tape. Okay, I'm going to do 1/2 centimetre at this end. And I've just gone through a couple of threads at this end on the other side, and I'm going back in the direction that I started from. So we have we measure to see whether the button will go through the loop. We make it a size that it will, and then hold this in place on that end, go back to the original end, take a little stitch, and make them both the same length. So what we get is a loop. It's got 2 threads of embroidery cotton as its basis. The button goes through comfortably but snugly. I'm just going to add another stitch, an anchoring stitch here, so that I can do all of this without worrying about pulling one of the loop threads too tight. Okay. And we pull the thread out of the way. We go under the loop and above the thread that we've pulled out of the way. That makes our blanket stitch. Pull that nice and firm. And then we just do that until we have achieved the loop. And by keeping it very neat and having the loop coming, having the thread come out at the top of that loop, keeps it nice and neat, so that all of the blanket stitch the top of the blanket stitch is in this lovely neat row. Okay, it's finished, it's done. Here we go. That's the loop. I've done 6 loops. And that's the blouse with them all done up. How cool is that? And I have had a ceremonial crossing out on the UFO bingo card.